Hello, this is Melissa Holden, and I'm making a video because I felt like bragging and there's no one to brag to. Many of you know that I have been switching from one diet to another, because I'm at the age when people gain weight, apparently. And I was just going to deal with that. I thought, well, maybe it's just the evolution of the human. That at a certain point in their life, they gain weight. So what? I remember my grandmother, my mother's mother told me once she was all health conscious and always exercising, and she at one point she got herself and she lost a whole lot of weight. And she says, she thought she looked really good at that point. But she says, looking back on that, I really wish I hadn't done that. That was just so stupid. Because that was what your body's supposed to do. And it's the same idea as there was a talk I heard at church where they said that you should lift these people were lifting a piano. And to do the most work, everyone should find a key point and lift there, but they should lift wherever they are. And that's it's hard to explain what I'm thinking, but that's the idea that I'm thinking with weight. It's like, well, you shouldn't be going towards an ideal type of body. You should say, this is what my body is, and and I'm going to do the most with it. Anyway, so she had said that, and so I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just gain weight. And then I thought, no, I don't feel healthy. And now I really almost don't want to tell you the numbers, because numbers are numbers. But I set a goal to reach the 140 mark by Christmas. And I've been doing intermittent fasting, and I lost a whole lot of weight at first, and I think it was water weight. Because then I just plateaued and I wasn't losing weight. And I've still been doing the diet for a long time now. It doesn't even seem like a diet. It's like everything that I've been able to really stick with, and not regarding diets, but anything in my life, make it my life. It's not a diet. It's what I do. And so I don't eat after 8 o'clock, and then I don't eat until 12 o'clock in the day. No big deal. That's just what I do. But around Christmas time, I've been eating worse kinds of foods. I was eating very health conscious and being very cautious about what I eat and stuff. And I just got, well, I don't care. I'm just eating whatever. I've been eating goodies and fudge and all kinds of cookies that I make. I'll just be tasting the stuff. My son loves peanut butter fudge, and so I make a lot of that. I just got done making chocolate covered peanut butter fudge and chocolate covered pretzels, because that's what my daughter loves. Their after school snack for Christmas. Anyway, and I was like, I need to know if I've made my goal, because it's almost Christmas. And I need to know whether I should just stop this or whether I should just keep doing this. I feel good. I don't feel like I lost a lot of weight. In fact, my stomach, I was feeling like I've gained weight, because it's like, before I had said, I don't know if I deleted that video, but before I'd said, you don't change proportions. Even though you diet and you lose weight, you're still you. So I'm not, even though I want to be skinnier or thinner, I'm still gonna be me. So I'm just gonna be a smaller version. So I'm not gonna really notice it, but that has not been the case. I've lost a lot of weight everywhere except for my stomach, and people have said that hard to lose. And anyway, so I have problems with my pants falling down, because the part that they used to get caught on was my hips, the hip bone, because my waist would go in, but now my waist doesn't go in as much, so my pants slide down, and I don't have a big butt or anything, so usually your hips That's what women call it, but your butt is larger, and so they keep your pants in place. Mine just fall right down to my ankles. It's like, even though they have zippers and stuff, I can pull them on and off. That's why I like overalls. Somebody said, I used to wear overalls when I was younger, and I'm like, I'm not trying to look young. I'm just wanting my pants to stay on. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting really long-winded again. So, what I had done is I decided I was going to weigh myself because I thought, I'm just going to be brutally honest with myself because I just want to know how I'm doing. I've been guessing because on every week on the application that I use, you have to record what you weigh, and I've been just sticking right around 150. I thought I'm never going to break that 150 mark. So reaching a goal. It's sad that I ever got that heavy because I remember when I was younger and it said an ideal weight for you would be about 150 pounds. I was like, I'll never be that heavy. And now I'm like, if I could just get to 140 pounds, I'd be happy. That's funny to hear me say. Probably some of you younger people will be like, can't believe that. Anyway, so, in college, I'll tell you a little bit about that weight thing. To be a tiger dancer, there was a weight scale. And you were allowed to be 100 pounds if you were 5 foot, and then 3 pounds for every inch over that. And I was 5'9", so I should have been 3 times 9, 27, 127 pounds. I was 140 pounds. But that was when I was running every morning. And see, that's... I'm jumping ahead again. Sorry. Anyway, but the tiger dancers, they qualify, and then they'd start doing their routines and bulking up and getting muscle, and they wouldn't be any fatter. They'd actually look better, but they'd do their weigh-ins, their monthly weigh-ins, and they'd be too much, and if they didn't lose weight, they'd be on probation or something, or have a warning, and if they didn't lose that weight, they'd be kicked off the squad. And I remember there was one time that I went up there because we broke into the... I shouldn't even admit to doing that, but we just thought it would be fun to get into the costumes for the prop room, and they had a bunch of the tiger dancer uniforms. And I thought, well, I'm going to try one on. And I was like, well, gosh, they're huge, and I found a really small one. And I was like, they look better on me, but I'm like way overweight. I'm like over 10 pounds overweight for my height. Anyway, so I just wanted to see if I'd actually ever gotten close to my goal, because I set the goal like back in July or sometime. Anyway, I weighed myself on my Wii Fit, and I usually give myself a little bit for my clothes and stuff, like it does if you've ever used the Wii Fit Plus board or the thing where it monitors your weight. And it told me that I weighed 132 pounds. I was like, holy. I was estimating that I weighed like 157 or something. So that made me good. I made me feel good because I broke the 150. That's where I left off, stopped doing. I was weighing myself every day, but I stopped doing that. I was like, I don't care. This isn't a diet anymore. It's just the way I live. And I'm down to 132 pounds. And I was like, that's good. It's funny because when I was younger, by younger, I say like when I was like 39 or so, I weighed like 115 pounds. So, and I wasn't like paper thin or anything, but I noticed I felt like I was getting a little heavy. I was like 160 pounds, and I was like, okay, this has got to stop. I just keep getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Numbers is numbers is numbers. My daughter and my son weigh more than I do now. That's kind of sad, but it's true. They're almost as tall as me, though, and boys weigh more, I guess. So I tell myself that. Anyway, I just wanted to brag about that. But the other funny thing that I wanted to make a comment on, because Oh, 10 minutes, sorry. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Do you want me to keep talking? Let me throw caution to the wind and just keep talking. Thing I noticed is, even though it's really cold outside, because it gets really cold, it's like I had these, if you've ever had what's called a hot flash before, it feels like you're in the oven. And what I've noticed, what I would do is I'd wait till I have one of those and then put the blanket over me, because I had a heat stroke and hypothermia at the same time. It's like when I was diving, I had hypothermia, and then I was baling hay like a few months later, and I had heat stroke. What we do with that is we wear jeans and a sweater and everything, and you spray yourself down with a hose to cool down. I wasn't hot, and they're like, "You're not hot. You should be dying of heat." It's like, "No, I'm not hot at all." And then they said, "Okay," because it was like almost 100 degrees, and they're like, "You're working so hard out there, you should be." Anyway, none of that matters. The whole point is, it feels like you're really hot. And so my body temperature, the temperature gauge, that's what my husband calls it, is off. So my body doesn't generate heat. So I put tons of blankets on. It doesn't do me any good. Unless I put my face under and I go and breathe. But even the breath, my breath isn't very warm, but it warms me up a little. Anyway, I took my temperature even once, and my temperature is lower. My blood pressure is lower. Everything on me is just slower and lower than usual. It's funny because I'm sidetracking again, but I'm over 10 minutes anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, there's this time I was at Boeing, and they had these new blood pressure machines installed in all the different buildings, and so I was there repairing someone's printer or peripheral or something, maybe even their computer, I don't know. And all these people were in line, and they're like, "You should do it too." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." So I did it, and after I was done printed out, and this guy that was there, he says, "I think you're dead," because my pulse was like way low. It was like below 50, and he's like, "Your pulse should not be that low. I don't think the machine works." And then it did his, and it was 70. They're like, "I think you're dead." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, maybe I am." The blood pressure, I can't remember what it was, but it was extremely low. And they're like, "Do you have problems with low blood pressure?" And I was like, "I don't think I do." But anyway, that all goes towards the fact that I'm not good at regulating my body temperature. So when I have these hot flashes, I feel like I'm getting warm, and it's good because I'm freezing. But then I realize, no, it's not good. It then gets so hot, it feels like you're in an oven. It feels hotter than anything. And I was having them in the summer, and then all of a sudden they just stopped. And I thought, oh, I outgrew them, I guess. And then when I started eating more sweets and stuff, I started having them. And I was like, it's just the way it feels. You have this gut feeling like a detective does. I kind of had this gut feeling that it was the brown fat was causing it. Now, why would I think that? I have no idea. I don't even know where the idea came from. It's just a gut feeling, but somehow it had to do with that. And I thought, well, I did a bunch of searches, and they didn't have any explanation of what causes it. Now, the thing that I've always heard is it's estrogen. It's your body stops producing estrogen. And this morning I had a breakthrough thought. And the thought was that maybe it is estrogen, because there's a certain point in your life when your metabolism slows down. And I know that your body doesn't use fat. At least mine doesn't. My body runs on carbohydrates. That's why keto diets are so popular. But it feels so, like this flooding of heat. And I thought, well, maybe it's my body. And it happens right after I eat sugars. And I was like, oh, it might be because for my for my body to use the energy, it needs enzymes, which estrogen is an enzyme, right? So it needs it to produce ATP or energy. And when you convert over to burning fat, then you have energy, but your body doesn't do that. Instead, it saves it as fat when you don't have estrogen, because your body can't use that. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. I'm just going to end right here. Also, because my computer's doing something weird and I need to check on it. So, I still don't have a catchphrase. I've lost a lot of weight on intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. If you're looking for something, do that. It doesn't work for everyone, probably, but it happened to work for me. And if you read about it, I read this book that my mom gave me about it, and it's really awesome. But I think the key to any diet is don't just stop because you stop losing weight. The reason why I think the intermittent fasting worked for me is just because I just decided not to give up, just to keep doing it. Even if it doesn't work, or if it does work, I don't really care. I'm not looking for a certain result. I'm just sticking with it. It's going to be what I'm going to do. A lot of people have said they've had a lot of success using, I think it's called Optivia or something like that. It basically changes the way you eat, and you do that for good. And my mom and dad would lose money because they would stick with a diet. And the diets were just crazy. There are things I think they just came up with them and they just do them. And it would work. And blah, 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 blah. Still don't have a catchphrase. Bye. That was so stupid.